Hi, everybody. If you'll just go ahead and sign in and let me know who you are and where you're from, that would be awesome. I'm going to queue up my session. We don't actually start for another 3 minutes or so, so just take this time to chat among yourselves in the chat box. We have just another minute or so. I think it's about time for us to start. I'm excited for everybody that's here. I'm so pumped by all that I've learned today and the other sessions. I can't wait until these get posted on the KY Go Digital YouTube site so I can catch all the things that I've missed. So I know that you all have had an awesome day. So I'm just super excited to be with you. And I'm going to start presenting. A couple of disclaimers. I don't have anybody here moderating with me, so I'm not going to be ignoring your comments in the chat. I do have another computer over here, but I may not see your questions, but just go ahead and type them in, and then when I find a good place to pause, I will jump over and look at those questions and then try to get those answered. If you have the opportunity to have a second device over there next to you, so while we're looking at some of these extensions, if you want to go ahead and download those and kind of play with them, that's awesome. I do have this presentation linked, so you do have access to that. So you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything like that as we go along. So since we're already into time, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Angie White. I'm the digital learning coach in Oldham County. And I have some of the extensions that I find that my teachers like to use the most. So, you all know that there are just hundreds and hundreds of extensions out there. So I've just tried to take some of the ones that they really like. If there's one that you think is super important, if you want to put that in the chat, and after we get finished, we can look at those as well, because this is by no means an exhaustive list, but it's just the ones that I keep on seeing my teachers use over and over again. So the first one, or first thing that I wanted to point out is just what extensions are. Most of you probably know what that is, but just in case, they're just a small software program that customizes your browsing experience in Chrome. They enable all the users to make Chrome more functional and to behave in certain ways that helps you with your individual needs or preferences as you're working in the Chrome browser. So all of these Chrome extensions can be found in the Chrome Web Store, and depending on which device you're on, there'll be different ways to do that, but the one way that'll work regardless is just to Google Chrome Web Store, and you'll have a link there and you can go for it. So the first one, if I had to choose one single Chrome extension that I like to use with the teachers and students, it's G Suite Training. It is so simple and it's interactive, and it helps you to use the different parts of G Suite. And if you don't know or don't remember how to do something, it is a very, very quick little video lesson that will take you through that process. So if you're in Docs and you have a question about Docs, you can just go to that G Suite Training extension and type in, if you don't remember how to do columns in Docs, for example, and just type in columns, it will immediately give you a video. If you're in Slides and you've forgotten how to import a video, then it will take you through that. I've got a quick video that I want to show you showing how we can use G Suite Training. And there's no audio on this. So click on that icon, and this is, you're in search here, so it's teaching you how to search for specific files or specific file types. So it gives you that information, it highlights the search, and then it has the drop down, and it tells you what to look for. So very quick video on how to do that. So that's G Suite Training. It's just going to be a little extension in your upper right-hand corner of your toolbar right next to the Omnibox. You'll have all your extensions. You just have that. It depends on which application you're in as to what your options are. So you're not going to get the same video for inserting a video in Slides if you're in Google Docs. So it's very specific to the application that you're in. The second one that my teachers absolutely love is Share to Classroom. You can get your class all on the same web page instantly using this. So for teachers specifically, you can save time and have interactive class lessons with this extension. So you can push a web page to any of your classroom classes. So in the example that it shows here, there are 3 different classes, and you can choose which one that you're going to push a web page to. It will push it, and then every student will have access, and it's quick and it's reliable every single time. You can post this in announcements in Google Classrooms, or create an assignment with it, or save the web pages in Classroom to post for later. So if you're doing research for a topic that you're going to be doing, isn't instant, but it can be. On the student side of things, they can use that Share to Classroom extension. That way the teacher can push those web pages that are shared out, and they don't have to type out that whole URL. The students can also push web pages directly to the teacher. So it can be a two-way street, but the students also need this extension in order for the teacher to push that out to them. Let's see. And I've got a quick video. Oh, wrong one. Sorry, that's for my next one. So we've got Screencastify as our third one. I know lots of teachers that use Screencastify, and I have another one that I'll be showing a little bit later, but this is probably the one that is used most often. So it's a very easy to use screen video recorder. You can record your desktop, your browser tab, or use a webcam capture. You can use the microphone on your computer. You can even narrate as you go through. There are just so many different things that you can do with it. You can even edit using this. You can annotate on your screen with the pen tool. You can even focus a spotlight on your mouse so that if students have trouble losing the mouse in your videos, that helps out. Your videos, whenever you use this, are automatically saved to your Google Drive, so it makes it super easy. You can also push these out to YouTube. So there's so many different ways that you can use it. Now, I will say that the light version is free. And with the light version, it's a 10-minute recording limit. And then you get 50 videos per month. So 10 minutes per video, 50 videos per month, and there is a watermark on it. I always push free unless this is something that you're going to use and use heavily and use a lot. I just don't see a need for you to have to spend that money every year or every month in order to get that. I wanted to show you a quick video. Let's see, did I go? I think I linked the video to the wrong icon.
Hi everyone, James here from Screencastify, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of our Chrome extension. Screencastify is the simplest way to create a high-quality screencast from right within your browser. Once you've installed Screencastify, click the gray film strip icon to get started. Next, choose whether you want to record your current browser tab, entire desktop, or just your webcam. You can also capture microphone audio if you want to narrate over your recording, as well as audio from within your tab or application. Then, embed your webcam to make your recording more personal. Once you're recording, spice up your screencast with our array of annotation tools. For example, shine a spotlight on your mouse to focus your viewer's attention, or draw with our pen tool. You can also toggle your webcam on and off and customize its location, size, and shape. When you're finished recording, click the film strip icon again and click End. And that's it. Screencastify automatically saves your recordings to your Google Drive, where you can access them anytime, anywhere. Then, you can rename your recording and share it by either grabbing the Google Drive link or publishing it directly to your YouTube channel. Our premium subscribers can crop and trim their videos, as well as export them as an animated GIF or MP4 file. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have fun creating awesome videos with Screencastify.
So let's go to, so that was Screencastify. The next one that I have for you is AdBlock Plus. And this was one that I was not familiar with until till about January or so, and I had a teacher that was using it, and I thought it was really neat because we had used ViewPure and several things because, especially on YouTube, you never know what advertisements or what other ads are going to pop up besides the irritating one that's at the very beginning that you have to watch in order to watch the video. and she had found this, and I thought, well, this is amazing. If you notice on the shot there, it shows the before and the after. So it's going to strip those ads off, the ad that you have to watch right before you can watch the video that you're actually after, and any other ad videos that are at the top of your list. And we all know that's where unfortunately, our students will go first. They start at the top and move down. So it will eliminate all of those. And I wanted to show you that video as well.
Hi. You know those video ads on video sites like YouTube? Ads like this one right here.
Check it out now.
You enjoying this? Because I'm really not.
Right about now.
AdBlock Plus blocks 100% of video ads on all major video sites like YouTube and Dailymotion. You can download AdBlock Plus for free at adblockplus.org. That's adblockplus.org, and never have to watch another video ad like this again.
Okay, so that's AdBlock Plus. I think it pretty much speaks for itself. They also talk about blocking, tracking, and malware. So that's another aspect to it. But for the most part, we're just trying to block ads on YouTube. So Alice Keeler's Classroom Split is one that I have seen that the teachers like to use, especially for their students. Students have a hard time in classroom reading instructions or directions and then actually having a document open or something like that. And what Alice did was she created this extension so that it will automatically split the screen so that the classroom can be open in one half of the screen and whatever the student is working on can be on the other half. So clicking on the Chrome extension icon, will open up the classroom assignment on one side, side by side with the students' work. So it helps them to view their assignment and the directions and then be able to also do their work. Now, in this extension, you can right click on that extension and under options and change the default destination from Google Classroom assignments to another URL if you needed to do that, but it is created and it defaults just to Classroom. So the next one that I have for you is Extensity. If you are an extension hog like I am, I love having all kinds of different extensions and having those available. There are just so many neat ones out there. But if you have all these extensions, what you'll find is it will eventually slow down your web browser. And things will get slower and start getting bogged down. So to keep your browser fast, you can disable extensions that you aren't using by using this extension called Extensity. It keeps your toolbar clean, so it's not all filled up with all these different extensions. And I just want to show you the video on this because they have provided a really good service. You can even see here in the screenshot that I have, while it may not be really clear, you can see all of the different extensions, and if they're dark, they're open. If they're light or grayed out, they've been disabled, and you can just go to the Extensity icon and then just quickly disable or enable different ones as you need them. I thought I had a video for that, maybe not. So then we have Nimbus Screenshot. And this was one that I didn't use that much. I was using Screencastify, and but then I had several teachers, and I don't know if it has to do with the capabilities, but I had a lot of my high school math and science teachers that were using Nimbus instead of Screencastify. So Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Video Recorder. It will do both. So you can capture a web page, either part of it or the whole window. You can edit your screenshots. It has a really neat user interface. You can record screencasts by recording video from your screen. So it has a lot of the capabilities of Screencastify. And I'm not sure, some of you that are in here may use one over the other and may have a better idea of which situations one might work better over the other. Let's see. And the next one that I have for you all is Cami. Now, if you watch videos, a lot of them will be from Europe, and it seems like in England they call it Kami. So we got a big kick out of that, but we've always called it Cami. Maybe we're just pronouncing it in a Kentucky fashion, I'm not sure, but we've always called it Cami, and it's going to be an awesome PDF app for Chrome. In the district where I am, we had a lot of iPads initially. And as the iPad started to die and we were shifting over to Chromebooks, one of the apps that the teachers loved with the iPads was Notability. And it was the ability to annotate using that iPad. Then they didn't have Notability available on their Chromebooks. And this was the extension that we found that helped take that or fill that void. And so Cami, with the Cami tools, you can annotate, you can mark up and collaborate on your PDF documents or different kinds of documents or images. It works with Google Drive. It works with Google Classroom. It has lots of different files that it supports. It supports PDF, of course, but for documents, it supports Word, Google Docs, even RTF files. If you're doing presentations, it supports Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. If you're working in spreadsheets, it supports Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. And then there are lots of image files that it supports. So JPEGs, JPGs, MPGs, and GIF or GIF, depending on how you pronounce that. So there are all kinds of tools for Cami. And I do have a video for that.
Cami lets you view, annotate, and collaborate on documents. Simply open a browser, go to Cami, and drag and drop a file in our beautiful document viewer. Annotating in Cami lets you add text, strike through, underline, and add comments. Cami makes it easy to collaborate with other people in real time. You can see what others are typing, reducing confusion and saving you time. You can also draw and add shapes with Cami. And add signature. Do you need to combine multiple files? Use split and merge. Drag and drop pages until they're organized just the way you want them. Find out why millions of users switch to Cami. Start using Cami today. Go to www.camihq.com.
So that gives you a little bit about Cami or Cami, depending on how you pronounce that. Another one that my teachers use, and I was actually, I will be honest, a little bit surprised because Grammarly's ads are one of the ones that I like to have ad block. When I go to YouTube, I'm not wanting to watch ads, and Grammarly was a common one, but they really enjoy using Grammarly, not so much for themselves, but for their students. Yes, they use it, but they really like it for their students. Grammarly can make sure that your messages, your documents, even your social media posts are clear, mistake-free, and very concise and impactful, I think. By adding Grammarly to Chrome, You're going to be able to have your spelling and your grammar checked on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr, just about anywhere that you can actually write on the internet. Once you register your new account, you'll receive emails with insights that are personal to you and performance stats. If you're working on a large project like an essay or a blog post, you can create and store your documents in their online editor. So there are lots of ways you can use this. The elementary teachers that use this quite a bit were my 5th grade teachers, and 4th some as well, but in having the students use this with their writing, and it helped them to find another vocabulary word where they weren't using the same words over and over again, or finding a more precise word. I'm going to show this video and let you all see for yourselves.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague, or a post on Facebook that all your friends will see, or a paper for your English class that you just have to get an A on, or a resume for your dream job, or a message to your crush on a dating site. The point is that you write important things each and every day. And whether you're an English professor or an English learner, we all could use a second pair of eyes to help us make sure we're always putting our best foot forward. Enter Grammarly, a writing app developed by some of the world's leading linguists. Grammarly helps you find and fix grammar, spelling, and punctuation errors wherever you write, errors that other spelling and grammar checkers just can't catch. Grammarly also helps you improve word choice and style, making your writing clear and compelling all the time. Best of all, it's free. Better writing, better results.
So there's Grammarly. I guess one of my past hated ads became an extension that my teachers use quite a bit. So they've just learned how to use that to help their students in their writing and to be better writers. The next one that I have is Save to Pocket, or Pocket, the Pocket extension for Chrome. So when you find something in Chrome that you want to view later on, then you can just save it to Pocket, and it automatically syncs to your phone, to your tablet, or your computer, and you can even view it not only anytime, but even without an internet connection. It has one-click saving of any page that you have on your toolbar button or a keyboard shortcut. There's a right-click menu item to save a link, so you don't have to load the page first. You can add tags to help you find your stuff later on. You can also see related recommendations when you save that to Pocket. And then what's most important here is that it's free. All of these extensions that I'm sharing with you are free. Now, you can upgrade to a premium to have more options, but what I'm talking about here is using it for free. And once again, working with intermediate level and even some middle school teachers, having the students save research to Pocket so that they may have found something that they were interested in and using in their research, and saving it to Pocket so that they're not spending their time the next day trying to find where that research was or where that image was. They were able to save those items to Pocket, and that's how they were using it. Not to mention that personal use of Pocket and what you can do with it. So let me show you this video as well.
great content all day long. Problem is, I don't always have time to enjoy it right then and there. That's why there's Pocket. Pocket lets you take pretty much anything you find online and save it in an organized way so it's ready to view when you are. Now, instead of having to remember where I saw that article, video, or anything I discover online, I have it all in one place, accessible from any device. Because I like my content just like I like my coffee. To go. So you can put stuff in Pocket here and view it here or here. If it's in Pocket, it's everywhere. And Pocket displays everything you store in a clean, easy to view layout. You don't even need an internet connection to use it. Airplane and dog park friendly. Awesome. In fact, tons of apps you already use make it super easy to save content right to Pocket. So the next time you find yourself with more content than time, ready? Okay. Just put it in Pocket. Pocket, the stuff you discover online, ready when you are.
So that's Pocket. I specifically made sure that I did not have too many extensions to share because I wanted this to be a time for us to share, which is part of our mantra today, to share, connect, and create. So I want to make sure that you're sharing some of your favorite extensions, and I'm going to ask you to type it into the chat box, and I'm just going to go to it on the internet, and we're going to talk about it. So it's your turn to participate and tell me what your favorite extensions are. Let me remind you, this only works if you participate. Okay, I'm seeing somebody that says remote for slides. That one's new to me, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Let's go to remote for slides. Yeah, I see remote for slides. Let's read about this. And thank you, Joan, for sharing that. And if you've got something that I don't say that you want to make sure everybody knows, if you want to pop that into the chat. But remote for slides, a way to control your slide presentations. That sounds neat. And it used to be known as remote for Google Slides, okay? So you don't need any extra hardware. You can just, from any device remotely, advance your slides. So you have a 6-digit code, and you use that. Joan, do you use this in your classroom or when you're presenting, like it's something like this, if it were face-to-face instead of virtual? Okay, she says that she's using the cell phone to move through her slideshow, and I'm assuming that's in class. Yes, in my classroom. All right, great. Thank you. I've learned a new one today. So awesome. I've got to make sure that I say that. And then we have Lisa, and you've got Nearpod eyes. So with Nearpod eyes, it's turning your Google presentation into a Nearpod lesson in just a few steps to instantly engage your students. So you're able to take those Google presentations and turn them into Nearpods. Anything else that you would like to add to that, Lisa? It even says here, after installing the extension, that you'll be able to edit your lesson, add videos, draw out activities, polls, and virtual reality experiences before sharing it out. Okay, and Lisa's saying that you can add questions and polls very quickly using this. I'm familiar with Nearpod, but not with the extension Nearpod Eyes, so great. I can share these with my teachers. Others? We've had Joan and Lisa. It's not going to get the rest of you off the hook. But I am going to, while we're waiting on the next person, I want to share Equasio. So if you teach math, Equasio is an incredible extension. You can create equations, formulas, quizzes by typing them, handwriting them, and you can even do it with the voice. So if we look through the slides as it goes through this, it has a handwriting recognition and the dictate piece. I know that technology traditionally has been the most difficult to embed in the math classrooms just because of the issues with trying to write formulas and equations. That's something that teachers have a really difficult time with. And this just eliminates that barrier, not only for you, but for your students. I did not include that in my most used just because that's so content specific, but it's definitely at the top of the list for any teacher that teaches math in my district. My guys, next up. Hi, Daphne. Okay, so she says read and write and Equasio from Text Help is free for teachers. So Equasio is free, and then if we go with read and write. So read and write for Google Chrome. And Equasio is now owned by Text Help, which is the same company that has Read and Write. And if you've been in education for any amount of time, you've probably heard of Read and Write Gold. This is the Chrome extension that's free for teachers. You do have to buy seats or licenses for your students. Dee Dee, can you tell me about that and how much that costs? And while I'm waiting on Dee Dee, any questions about Read and Write for Google Chrome? So it helps with your reading and writing with your students, regardless of the content or the device that you're working with. Okay, so Dee Dee is saying that it's $12 for the student license, but the teacher can have that for free. It's just when you start putting it on student devices that it starts costing money. Right, and Nicole was talking about the Google Calendar extension before we went to the new Gmail, but I'm assuming that when you're saying that, Nicole, you're talking about before we did the migration. So if somebody did not go to Google or to Gmail, would that make a difference? While I'm waiting on Nicole on that, Dee Dee, we've got a question about the license on the student version of that. Can it be used for different kids, or is it kid specific? And Nicole's saying it's not the migration, it's just the old mail versus the new Gmail as far as the calendar piece goes. Okay, and for Anne, your question about the license, Stephanie, or Dee Dee is saying that it is student specific. So it would follow the student, not the device. Our mantra is create, share, and connect. So let's share. Okay, while I'm waiting on other brave souls, I thought it was turn out the lights, but it's turn off the lights. And it reminds me a little bit of the YouTube block, but what turn off the lights does is it makes everything except for the video on YouTube dark. So it helps alleviate some of the distractions that you might have. And it also hides some of those ads that you may not want the students to see. You have different options as far as just whether it's dark or if there are other backgrounds, I guess, that you would say that show up. But it does kind of the same thing. It doesn't actually strip the lights or the ads, but it just changes how that's viewed by using that app. Some people just like it to be more like in a movie theater where everything's dark except for that video that's being played. Okay, Joan, you're mentioning the 1 minute timer. And I'm not seeing it come up there. There's one that my teachers use and it is a timer, but I don't know if that's called 1 minute timer. Is there another name? And Anne, I see your question about extensions to load onto Chromebooks that block inappropriate sites. To my knowledge, that's going to be at a filtering level at your district. It's not going to be an extension that's going to block inappropriate sites. So that's one-click timer. Like a type. So with the one-click timer, and this is one that one of my fifth grade teachers uses a lot, and I'd forgotten about that. So it's just a really cool little timer. You can click and drag the hands on this timer to be whatever length that you want it to be. I think you can even change the sounds that it makes. It's saying that you don't need special permissions or anything like that. Is there something else that you wanted to say about one-click timer? Right, Joan, I don't think it's one of those glitzy glam extensions. It's just super handy and easy to use, which is what we all need. Others? We have a few more minutes. I'm great at wait time, guys. I have a few people that are still holding out on us. I know that Alice Keeler has all kinds of ones that she commissions. So she's got this webcam that is great. With the webcam extension, you can record yourself and embed that feedback, and whether that's slides, whether docs, sheets, wherever, you can do a quick feedback for your students and embed that instead of writing comments or notes. So that's a great one. She's got Drive 20. So for those of you that might be at the middle school, high school level, where you've got multiple classes of lots of students, and what Drive 20 will do when they have submitted an assignment, it will go into your Drive and open up 20 of whatever that assignment is. So you're not having to click and open each one. It will open up 20 tabs. And so you can give feedback, grade, whatever it is that you're doing with that, close a tab and it goes to the next one. So you're not having to open each one. It's just a time saver. So that's a fun one that Alice has. I'm not sure about some of the others. I already shared the classroom split with you that she did. I'm seeing a few more here that I'm not quite as familiar with. So let's see. SlideShot. So what SlideShot does is it creates a screenshot every minute and saves the image in Google Drive. So what that does is it will just have that saved into your Google Drive automatically, if you can think of good reasons or ways to use that. That's one that my teachers aren't using. I know very little about that. This Alice Keeler, anyone can view, is really neat because you can instantly change those sharing permissions. I don't know how many times I think I've changed the permissions and shared something out, and I haven't, and then I have to go in and then have to go to advanced to allow anyone with the link to view, that even those people that are outside of my domain. So that's a nice little extension. And I've already talked about the Drive 20. I don't know if some of you have used some of these others. We're getting down to the last, within the last 5 minutes of the session. So please, if you've got one, please put it out there to share. This is our time to learn from each other. Like I said, the extensions that I was sharing were just the top ones that my teachers tended to use, and by no means was it intended to be an exhaustive list. So you all have all kinds of really neat things. Now, Joan, you're saying QR code extension? And I use QR code generators, but I haven't used this one. So it allows you to generate a QR code for the current page and then scan a QR code using a webcam. Oh, okay. So it automatically creates that QR code for a web page that you're on at that point in time. So that's awesome. Thank you. Others in these last couple of minutes? And I wanted to ask, because some of you may have done this, with the QR code generator, there's one out there that you can generate your QR code and you can put a logo or a picture or something in the middle of it. And I don't remember what that was. One of my library media specialists showed it to me and I didn't write it down. Are you all familiar with that? We just thought it would be neat to put the mascot for the school like in the middle of a QR code for something that we were doing. I'm not hearing any takers on that. Okay, then I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Hop back in here with you. We're getting down to the last couple of minutes. I cannot tell you how exciting this day has been and how awesome it's been to be with everybody and to share ideas and to learn new things. This is not the end. We have our closing session where you all need to be in that too. It's a great time together. In one group, Melody is going to address us all. And you all go out and have a blast with all this because it's been a great day. So I'm going to hang out here. I think I have maybe another minute. And if you all have something to share, otherwise you can pop out and get ready to go into that link for that group session. Thanks so much. Bye.